Definitely start the recording. Oh yeah, got it.
Now here in Hawaii, it's 9:34 in the evening, so I will have a Budweiser.
Lucky guy.
You're starting the weekend now, no? After our meeting, you are still working, or you go dancing, or what do you do in Hawaii?
It is Friday night. It is Friday night. But this is the most important part of my weekend right here, gentle people. Patrick and Rainer, would you like to better introduce me to Stefan and Heiko?
Stefan and Heiko, I also told we just started a new venture, and it's called Fair University, and we will begin our education program with a Scrum Master and full stack software developer bootcamp. For this, Rainer asked me if there would be a good book to support what we are teaching. And I was looking for Scrum Master books. And at the same time, I saw Joe Justice in an episode of Best in Tesla, explaining how eXtreme manufacturing works at Tesla. And there he mentioned his book. And I really was fascinated by how well you explained the mechanism that Tesla is operating, even for I think people that don't know about Agile. So I had a look at your book. I also screened other books, and yeah, you won by, I don't know, a couple of dimensions, because all the other books you could see just from the way they were made, that they were produced in a waterfall process. But the book of Joe is the real deal. So it's published on LeanPub. It iterates all the time. So whenever you buy a book at Amazon, you get the latest version. Also, you have forward future linking. So there are books mentioned in the books there that are not read, not yet written. And as our technology platform before Google Workspace was the MediaWiki of the Wikipedia. And what I really liked there was the red links. So the links to articles that are not yet written. And with one click, this encourages people to actually write the article that is missing. And seeing this concept in a book, I knew, okay, Joe Justice's book will be the book. And then in the book, you also write that you always reply when someone contacts you on Twitter. So that was my test for Joe. I wrote him on Twitter. And I think I literally will test to see if he responds. And from there on, yeah, I researched into your history and found out about Wikispeed. And since I was doing Wikispeed, this car that you see there was created in an X Prize competition. I think it's the Automotive X Prize. And I myself was in the Google Lunar X Prize. And we in a team that wanted to create a moon rover with similar ideas or on methods that Joe used to build this car. And this reminded me of a former idea. I wanted to create a flying car all the time with this method. And I wrote this to Joe, and somehow I could convince him to join in our venture. And yeah, now he's here. I'm very happy. And he is running an agile agenda according to his book. And this is the third recording of this activity. And last time Joe said the best would be if we were 5 people. So I tried my best to get 5 people in this meeting, and even short notice. I'm very happy at Heiko and Stefan that you could make this happen. And yeah, now I would say I would give the leading of the meeting back to Joe. So what will be?
Let me say two words to my person.
Sorry. Yes.
Yes,
Please.
I'm
Definitely.
Steffen, and
Yeah.
I know Patrick from the time of my studies in Stuttgart, electrical engineering. It's, I think, 28 years ago, so we are really good friends. And currently I'm working as a researcher with Mercedes-Benz. I'm involved in a project that is named Soft Car, software-defined car, to define, a car's via software, to build a digital twin and so on. And so it's very impressive to me, Joe, building a car from the scratch within 3 months. So that's the reason why I'm sitting here, and I'm really curious about you and the things you're doing.
Yeah, maybe Heiko,
okay.
you also introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'll make a short introduction. Patrick and we founded a company maybe 20 years ago. We worked together on this. We are still not rich. That's a bad part of our venture. Since that, I'm working as a freelance developer and combine this with a nomad capitalist lifestyle. And currently I'm a kind of a refugee, since my virtual workplace is in Kiev, which is a bit tricky currently. So, and of course, I saw the two videos, and yeah, I know somehow what Patrick is planning to do or doing currently with this agile education approach. And yeah, I'm open, I'm interested, and I'm supportive. Thank you.
It is my honor to collaborate, Heiko, with yourself and Steffen. Rainer and Patrick and I, this is our third session this week. Sorry, this one's Saturday, but it's where we could fit it. And we've recorded some marketing potential material, as you may have seen. It sounds like, Heiko, you did. We also did some collaborative work together using a technique called MOB, which some of you may or may not have done before. And what Rainer and Patrick aspire to do with Fair University is novel and new. And I am incredibly excited about what it could be. As a lean startup, it already functions. And that is what convinced me that Rainer and Patrick are the real deal. They created a login page that is the beginning. Like, it's actually the start. It's not just marketing material. It actually is the first step of their product. And they forked it to support dual language as soon as they had some attraction from another language. So just in time, as the market pursues it, they develop the next step, or that's been the method so far. I'm completely impressed. What I hope we get to do today, now that we are potentially the ideal team size, if at least for this session we're a team, 5 people is arguably perfect. And there's some fun math around that you may or may not know, but it's arguably perfect. What would be excellent is to hear from Patrick what would be the absolute highest value thing that's ready to do, that's ready to try, that we could actually try to do and do it. So for example, if Patrick tells me to tweet at Bill Gates, I worked for Bill Gates before, I will. Or if Rainer says we need to improve the email response to the automated email that happens when you click the first step of joining Fair University and eXtreme Learning, then we'll mob on that. So the idea here is to have a short, collaborative, and I hope fun work session that involves all of our talents.
Maybe I can share the document we did 2 days before. There were a couple of things. We already did 2 of them. And how do I share? Now I have the opposite problem because this is my first time with Zoom. I can share my desktop here.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, we were using Google Meets the previous 2 sessions, and I didn't know what I was doing. So yeah, it's an exchange. Looks great right now, Patrick.
Do you see the document?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Okay. So there's a couple of bullet points. Of course, I want to inform our shareholders about our new communication approach. So to encourage them to comment on YouTube to make us more visible. Then we have other platforms. We can enhance visibility on Wikipedia. So we have Steffen here, we just started to. What did you become? There are different rights you have at the Wikipedia or levels.
Hierarchical rules. Yes, and I'm a passive confirmer. So that's, I think, the name of my role. So.
Okay, a passive confirmer. So you told me that you can link to
I can
sources.
write things directly through the system, and there is no need to be confirmed. So that's the ability I can do.
Yeah.
Probably
okay, so
because you have a very high level of ethics and standard. I assume that's why that's awarded. That said, if there's something that is ethically correct and meets the correct standards that is also in support of this project, wow, that'd be amazing. So of course, please let us know when you see those opportunities.
So we have the other platforms: Wikipedia, Twitter, LinkedIn. LinkedIn you mentioned last time, and I have to admit I was fully focused on the product the last months, years, maybe even. So I wasn't very active, or wasn't active at all in any of these platforms. I have a LinkedIn account. I know that Rainer's very active at LinkedIn, and I also know that you, Joe Justice, are maybe all of us, I think, are there. Maybe that's a thing that we could do. I don't know. Write a LinkedIn article and link to the videos. The videos are. I have no idea how informative it is for someone who just does not have context, but I don't know. What do you think, Joe? Can we link it just and see if there's any response, or how do you normally proceed?
Yeah, Wikispeed grew to become in its space famous from zero. I mean, from me fumbling in my garage alone, and how that happened, how that organically happened, is I simply made it visible, which is exactly what you're already doing, Patrick and Rainer, and now I hope Steffen and Heiko. What I did is I made a blog post once a week saying, here's what I got done, here's what worked, here's what didn't work, here's what I think I'm going to try next week. And blog posts worked at that time. Now, since then, what catches people's interest has moved on, and it's truly video. So it's a video, and long form videos, surprisingly enough, do get views. But if the video can be less than 5 minutes, or if an excerpt of it that's ideally less than 1 minute, it gets way more views. That said, long form videos seem to amazingly also be useful. So both, like even an hour, even 2 hour videos get watched all the way through amazingly, especially by the most passionate people, which is what we want. So I would say posting the videos is great. Then what actually made it grow is you have someplace people can click 24 hours a day to express interest, which Rainer and Patrick, you've already built. You have that. So then the last and most important one is try to do something exciting every week. Now that's super hard, right? But it makes the prioritization very clear. of the 10 things we think we could do, which one is the most awesome? And truly, that's what we did. Making a car, like it was just me. I was like, well, I need to figure out the brakes. I need to do this. And which of these 10 things is the most awesome? Okay, that's the one I'll try first. And
what was it in your case?
well, it was different every week. And the project, didn't have a license plate on it for 3 months. So there was, 12 of these. But one of them that worked well is I had an engine that I was working on, and I needed to get it in the car, and I wasn't anywhere ready. The car was, it was from scratch, right? It wasn't ready to run. So what I did is I had it in an aluminum box, and I filmed the engine running and accelerating, sitting in an aluminum box. And then I panned over to the pieces of car that were being developed next to it. And then I sat on the floor of the garage, inside the pieces of car laid out on the floor, kind of like it would eventually be a car, and then stop the video. And people are like, this dude's actually got an engine running, and I can kind of imagine there's going to be a car. And that was enough. Then there was a wood box that was about the same shape as the frame. Earlier week, there was a wood box, but I had the actual suspension screwed onto the wood box. So the actual wheels, tires, the brakes weren't working yet, but the brakes were there. And I asked some of my neighbors that lived near me to push me down the alley. So like a toy, right? Like a big kid's wagon. And so I'm sitting in this wood box, but with the actual suspension on it bouncing down the alley. And my neighbors are, running as fast as they can. And people got it. They're like, okay, I see the suspension. There's not a frame yet. Like he doesn't have a frame yet. He's got some wood, and that the car is not going to be made out of wood. This isn't a Morgan from Europe, from the UK. But I see the suspension. This person is doing something. I can see the suspension. I can see how it bounces. It works. That was way more exciting than the other stuff I could have possibly done. And I took all that directly from what I learned about Scrum, the sprint review, right, is what I did there. So potentially making a video of someone logging in and posting it and saying, here's the login experience. And I don't know, that maybe that's really using the product and showing it, and then putting the actual link in the video in case anyone wants to follow. That could be intriguing, for example.
There's no cut videos yet. We have not the login. We have of course login footage somehow from our last video, since you logged in. We could also let Steffen and or Heiko log in. They have not seen the application yet, so we have this on video now, and then cut it and publish it later.
Maybe they would even share their screen as they did it if they're willing.
So what do you think, Steffen and or Heiko? Can we?
I need to say I'm working from my mobile phone, but I can try it. I'm not sure how it works.
Don't make it more complicated than necessary. Then maybe I would propose that Steffen tries. I mean, this would be an experiment. If you can do a Zoom call and log into the application at the same. You cannot share your screen then. Oh, can you? I don't even know how it looks like on a mobile phone, the application yet.
I'm just I'm not used. I use Zoom only as a consumer so far, so I'm not sure how I can share my screen, to be honest.
What about you?
No problem.
Can you share your screen?
I'm able to share my screen.
Then so, I would send you. I would send you the link. Where is it?
Please share it with Heiko too, and maybe we'll hear back. I don't think Zoom on mobile. I don't think Zoom on mobile can share screen, but maybe we'll hear back from Heiko saying I did it or something, which would be kind of cool.
Okay. Yeah, Patrick, would you send me a link, or what do I need to get in?
Yeah, I can send you the link.
There's a chat button at the bottom of each screen. On mobile, it's probably hidden under a ... button or something. But yeah, Patrick just put the appropriate link in the Zoom chat. So Stefan, if you're ready, share screen and let's see how crazy this gets.
I will publish shortly. We have another version now. I haven't published it yet. Because now we have 3 versions of the game. Where is it? Okay. Only the German version has 2 versions now.
Let's do it. Great image that I'm sure we have appropriate rights to use.
So, Stefan, what screen? And I see Stefan's screen. Okay.
Yes, now you can see my screen, but Heiko, if you like to, you can do it first.
Okay, so then I share my screen. So I have several options. Google Drive box, interesting. No idea what kind of screen I'm sharing.
You're sharing a black screen saying Heiko.
Yeah, really? Because there is something called Freigeben. It's yeah, okay. Oh shit! No, no, I can share, and I can also share something called Bildschirm.
That sounds the right thing.
Yeah. But then they are asking a lot of other things. Yeah, it's not that easy. It's a new experience for me as well.
Screen sharing seems to be a running gag. When I did the subtitles of our last video, half of the time Joe was trying to share a screen. At least it seemed like.
You know, we'll get there. We'll get there little by little. But I've got an idea, because there's 2 minutes remaining. Is we know the site has worked at least once, maybe even more than that, on desktop. And Stefan looked like Stefan could share. So let's try to get an easy win. Stefan, if you're ready, please hit a home run.
Yeah, share your screen. And
So, first step is to share my screen. I think this is done. This should be done. Digital Enterprise Mixed Reality Game. Du bist auf dem Weg zum Holodeck der Enterprise. So now I have to inscribe my email address. Is that right? Or what do I have to do, Patrick?
Yes, just enter your mail. Can you share again? I don't see your screen now.
You can't see my screen. Oh. Why not?
I think the sharing of Heiko worked shortly and it just stopped your sharing.
Yeah, but it's I see it. It's there, I think.
Now I see it also. Okay.
Submit. And then I have to go into my emails. No, that's not right. Yeah. Welcome in the real mixed game. So.
Ooh, here we go. Yes.
Fiat Chrysler Kirchler. Ich gehe zuerst zu Fiat Chrysler. So. You need access. Ask for access.
Okay, that's a good test case for us. That gives us some useful information. We will optimize.
Yeah, definitely. This should not happen. This had, I think we just found a bug because normally when I test it, I'm logged in, and I think there we have a rights issue there.
I will call that a success. The email came.
I found the bug. Yeah, success.
I will call that a resounding success. Heiko, would you give it a shot? I actually am I am at my time box. I need to go, but I really want to know, Heiko, if you can get in from mobile, whether the screen shares or not.
Okay. Screen share seems not to work for whatever reason.
I have seen your screen shortly. Just for 5 seconds, I've seen your screen, your mobile screen.
Yeah, interestingly enough, it was the keypad or the home screen. Like it was all the icons list.
Yeah, the thing is.
Yeah, I see it now.
Really?
Success.
Yeah,
yes,
I see your screen.
Yes. Okay, click the not the Zoom link, but yeah, looks like email can come up. Patrick, can you quickly send the link in email so it's at the top of Heiko's inbox? We might be able to make this work.
Okay, now we have to go fast. I send a mail.
No. I can, of course. I had this before.
We totally see your screen. This is bizarre, Heiko. Here we go. Heiko,
I don't see.
You are at the forefront of technology right now.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Go for it, my friend. Whatever email you use for testing stuff, or one that you like.
So. Okay, so the game begins.
Wow, it works.
Yeah, it works. So it's the same thing again.
Okay. Everyone, I will call that a phenomenal first collaboration of the 5 of us. Phenomenal. What we did is we all saw the platform work on desktop and mobile, which the mobile had never even been tried before. And we found the next bottleneck. And we can mob on the next bottleneck when we have the next amount of time, or whoever has time first. Patrick may have solved it before any of us get to it.
I will solve this today, of course.
Sounds perfect. I will call this a resounding success. Now, as short as that feels, that's probably the right amount. We got to the next bottleneck, which is perfect. And if we just do that, how can I say it? I don't want to take any of anybody's time, but this is a passion topic of mine. Elon Musk is phenomenal, and I'm very grateful that I got to work for Elon and learn a lot. And basically all Elon does, like all, is try to figure out where the current bottleneck is and then join a mob there. That's it. And by doing that for 15 years now, Elon has direct engineering experience at SpaceX, at Tesla, at the Boring Company, OpenAI, Neuralink, and PayPal and Zip2 before that, and X.com. But in software development, in procurement, in HR issues, whatever the bottleneck is. So Elon really understands these companies now and can make extremely quick decisions at a highly technical level that is unusual. And essentially, Elon now acts like a superhuman, but I don't think Elon's a superhuman. I just think Elon mobs at the bottleneck, and that compounds over your career. So that's truly what I think the theory of all of that success is. And that makes me excited to say we just did it. That's what we just did too. So how cool are we, maybe?
At least as cool as Elon, of course.
I think maybe yes. Okay, Heiko, it is my
Great.
honor to meet you. Stefan, it is my honor to meet you. Rainer, Patrick, I'm so glad for our third collaboration just this week. Okay, if I ever get this recording, if it works, I'll send it to you, Patrick. Feel free to edit out or blur individual email addresses if you want. You can keep my email address in. My email address is public, but whatever's good for Stefan and Heiko. And we'll schedule the next set of meetings anytime via chat. Twitter or WhatsApp or Signal is fine. Everybody, I will drop out. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you also.
Thank you, Joe. It was a pleasure to meet you.
Good time.